let's talk about angles formed by parallel lines. Angles formed by parallel lines. Consider the following. Parallel bars are used by therapists to help people recover from leg or spinal injuries. How could we ensure they are in fact parallel bars? And what would the bars being parallel, why would the bars being parallel be important? So what they mean by when they're using parallel bars is they're not inserting a parallel bar into you. What you're doing is you're training on the parallel bar, like with your physical therapist or your athletic therapist. So they kind of look like the parallel bars or the uneven bars that you would see in gymnastics. That's a side view of my guy, and he is working his way in between the parallel bars. Yeah, I'm not an artist. So why would these be important? The bars are an even distance apart, and this allows you to, with one hand, grab one bar, and with the other hand, grab the other bar, and then kind of use your upper body so that it can help you walk again. So if they weren't parallel and they were uneven or they went closer together, then this wouldn't give you the proper upper body to lower body use. So alternate interior angles, two non-adjacent interior angles on opposite sides of the transversal. So these would be like C and F, and it would also be E and D. Alternate exterior angles, two exterior angles formed between two lines and a transversal on opposite sides of the transversal. So this would be like A and H and G and B. So which line is the transversal? Well, the transversal is the red line in this case. What are the alternate interior angles? Well, it's going to be C and F. So the angles that are alternate interior angles are going to be C and F and E and D, and the angles that are exterior are going to be A and H and B and G. So determine the measures of an angle in DGF, BFG, AFE, CGF, then for the diagram to the right. So what it means when I say DGF, the middle letter is where your angle is going to be. Oh, sorry, DGF is the other way. Now, how would we determine these different measurements? The first thing to note is the two arrows on lines C and D and A and B. This tells us they are parallel. So that would mean these arrows here tell us that it is parallel. The fact A, B, and C, D are parallel means alternative interior, exterior, and corresponding angles and interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. So what that means, do we remember what supplementary means? That means that the two angles added together equal 180. So angle BFG is corresponding angle to DGH. So they must be equal. So we could say that BFG equals DGH, which equals 54. DGF is along a straight line and is beside DGF, so they must be supplementary. So DGF equals 180 minus DGH. So 180 subtract 54 equals 126. AFE is an opposite interior angle to DGF, so they must be equal. So AFE equals DGF, which equals 54. CGF is an opposite interior angle to BFG, so they must be equal. So we could say that CGF equals BFG equals DGH, which equals 54. Make sure you're noting this on your picture. So, how could you prove the horizontal braces on this hydro tower are parallel? If we had measurements for any alternative exterior, interior, or corresponding angles and they were equal, that would prove the braces are parallel. Equal corresponding angles would work as well. So the key points to remember from this are when a transversal intersects two parallel lines, the corresponding angles, the alternate interior angles, the alternate exterior angles, are all equal and the interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. If any of the previous points is found to be true, then the two lines intersected by the transversal must be parallel. So let's try this one. What is the size of angle AFG? So we know that they are alternate exterior angles. And we know our lines are parallel because they contain the two arrows. So therefore, we could say that all right, so determine the measures of angles X, Y, and Z for the practice. So we know that angle Z is 50 degrees because it is vertically opposite. So the angles are equal. I can make all of these assumptions because I know those lines are parallel due to the arrows. So y equals 50 because they're alternative interior angles. So y is right across from 50, which makes them alternative interior angles on parallel lines, which means they are the same. And then how do we solve for x? So x is supplementary to angle y, and we already know angle y to be 50. Therefore, we could say reason is because it's supplementary to angle Y. All right, let's try B together. So we have angle x equals 60 because it's the corresponding angle to our 60 degrees that we have found. Angle z equals 60 degrees because it's alternative exterior angle. And y equals 180 subtract 60 because it's supplementary to angle x. So your assignment is page 10 to 12, and there will be a short quiz tomorrow on this as well. And that is it.